Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Mega Man Battle Network 2. Sorry it's been about half a year. I got distracted by other projects and life in general. Dad, I brought the program. Oh, Lamb, thanks for that. The program was in Yum Square, but taking it turned out to be prohibitive. Really? I'll transmit it to Yum Square later. I'll set up the program right away. Done! The new program's finished. Len, can I borrow that PET? Sure, Dad. This might hurt Mega Man, so bear with me. Okay. Install new program. Ouch! Just a little longer. Hang in there. Yes. Install complete. You okay, Mega Man? I think so, but feels the same as before the install. The program is like a seed to strengthen Mega Man. Use his experience as nourishment to grow the seed. No telling when it'll sprout, but when it does, Mega Man will gain a newfound strength. Thanks, Dad. That can't be good. Something has infiltrated the square. No way, it's those navvies. Come on, Lan. Yeah. Lan, don't bite off more than you can chew. I know, darn it. So, if memory serves, this is about our 320 sub special, and we're closing in on 500. Again, I'm gonna try to get these out more quickly, but it depends on whether or not I find the time to actually record this game versus other games I do. For now, let's jack into the square and see if we can find the navvy who's causing problems around here. Ah, the true evil, Purple. You're the one who messed up Yum Square? Haha, you all fool, net navvies. Commander Shadow Man would be in the mother computer by now. Darn, a deceptive tactic? Noticing now it's too late. I'll delete you like the other net navvies. This fight can be a little annoying on a first playthrough. This is a goofball virus, which I think is like version 2 or 3 of this particular virus chain. What makes it kind of annoying is its attack is technically 2 attacks in one, and one half of that attack blocks it from most normal attacks. Its main attack is to throw its mask off, leaving the body vulnerable, but you can only hit it from the side diagonals or using attacks that pierce through things like Gutsman, like Shockwave, like dashes. The mask being thrown forward can damage you outright, but the gas that it leaves in the circle around it essentially, slowly saps away your HP one by one. So after it uses an area grab, which every single one of these viruses has, by the way, your area gets pretty limited. You can bait it in certain directions up or down by standing on the top or bottom rows, and that can be helpful for avoiding damage, but a little annoying. They are wood elemental though, so you can use fire chips on them, no problem, and they'll do double damage. Lan, let's go to your dad's. We gotta tell Dad or... Don't get me wrong, the entire series has its fair share of mistranslations and weirdly structured sentences, but this particular part of the game seems very rife for them for BN2's standards. Dad, what about the mother computer? Something invaded the system, and so fast. And the Navi repulse weapon is not complete yet. Dad, we'll go. Complete the weapon while we're gone. Sure thing. The official net battlers are on the job. Help them. Sure. So now we can head to the mother computer area, which is thankfully very close by. We just have to head to the very top left corner of this map, and there's the door. Mother of... So this is the mother computer? Lan, no time to stare on the sidelines. If the mother computer's taken over, this country's finished. I know that. I won't let that happen. Then let's get to it. Thankfully, the first computer system is right over here with the officials. The security system has been damaged. A password has to be input or you can't open the doors. Huh? Hikari's son, what are you doing here? Please, let me help too. It's very reassuring having you here. But leave the battling to us adults. We'll show you the force of official net battlers. Come on, you all, we're off. Yes. Roger that. Jack in. Advance. The password for this is... Official Beam! Great, just a little more to go. Yes. Roger that. Huh? What's this, a virus? You guys, lend me a hand. Okay. Roger that. If this keeps up, use that! Official de Barbarossa's dangerous cannon! Delete complete. How about it? What'd you think of us adult skills? Performed only like officials could. The door's opening. We'll go on ahead, so follow us. Alright, I mean, hey, if you guys took care of the first computer, that's fine by me. One less I'll have to do. Pretty tough. This won't be easy. Lan, I need your help. Will you jack in here? Alright, thus the mother computer dungeon begins. And this is one that stumped me frequently as a kid just because I was stupid and lacked knowledge. The mother computer is protected by many levels of security to prevent infiltration from the outside. Good job that did. Our questions act as passwords. You will not be able to proceed any further if you enter incorrect passwords. What are the 3 missing letters? Curiosity killed the blank. So the way this computer works is that there are orange tiles with letters on them, and you need to step on them in certain orders that display the answer to the questions the green Mr. Programs that the area will pose to you. For instance, in this case, it's curiosity killed the C-A-T, cat. These range from little riddles to answering and filling in the blanks of sayings. But I saved there for a very particular reason in case things didn't go my way. Because even though we've seen, I think, all of these enemies before, except for maybe the vacuum fan, which if we haven't seen those before, just in case, they're the opposite of the wind box. They suck you in instead of blow you away. The first battle you do in this computer is likely to trigger a very particular event. I say likely because there's a chance you maybe haven't done enough battles for this to happen, but on most runs, especially on repeat runs where you're potentially grinding for certain chips, you're likely to get it. A lot of the enemies in the early mother computers we've seen before, it's a lot of Metard 2s, a lot of Swordy 2s and 3s, vacuum boxes we just took care of, the Sparky enemies from some of the earlier license test stuff. We're gonna see a lot in here as well, so get used to them for the next little bit. But here's the event in question. Huh? Lan! What is it, Megaman? I feel strange. You look different. You're seeing a phenomenon called a style change. Dad? Style change? All operators have their own peculiarities and natures. Navis automatically evolve to reflect this effectively. This is called a style change. The data format is... Aqua Custom Style. Aqua Custom? Style? This is an Aqua Navi style ideal for Navi chip combos. This style starts with 7 chip options in the custom menu. Also, charge shots will turn into water shots. Careful though, you take twice as much damage from Malek. Wow, good job, Megaman. Aqua Custom Style. Wow, I can't believe how much cool power I can feel. You can always pick Megaman from the menu and change style. Okay, so alongside additions like the add button and minor refinements to the combat system like the run button, style change is the defining factor of Battle Network 2 and 3 specifically that evolved from BN1. Depending on how you play the game, you will get a style that suits your folder in a way that can actively aid you. There are 4 style changes here in BN2. How you get what from a style change, though, is a complicated process to talk about, so let's start with the easiest things to explain. First off, custom style's major benefit is that you now have 7 chips to select from on the custom screen at once, and I forget if it's this game or BN3 that did a thing where as you level up a style, because you do level them up the more you use them, that expands to like 8+. I think I'm thinking of BN3, though, when I say that. The next easiest thing to explain is the elements. There are 4 elements, and they are completely random which one you get. You cannot determine the element in any way. It is completely random, and what they determine is a couple of sparse additive effects and your charge shot. So, for instance, being a certain element means you'll do double damage with your charge shot to a certain element. but you'll also take double from another. So since I am Aqua Element, I'll do double damage to heat viruses like a Swordy 2, but I'll take double from an Elect virus like a Sparky. There's a battle chip you can use that is Aqua Element exclusively, but the main thing is our Shard Shot is now the Bubbler battle chip, and at this current level, it'll do 30 damage. If you get a Heat Element style change, you can walk over certain tiles we haven't seen yet, you can use a certain battle chip down the line, and your Charge Beam becomes essentially Fireman's Flame Line ability from Battle Network 1. Where you fire forward a charge shot of fire that goes, I think, 3 panels forward and then just rescinds back into your charge shot. That does the most damage at 50 damage, I think. Elec gets the worst stuff on the whole, I find, because there's a battle chip we can use down the line, and its charge shot becomes the Zap Ring battle chip. That can paralyze enemies, yes, but it just does the lowest damage. Wood gets an interesting one, because being wood style means when you stand on grass panels that we'll be seeing shortly, you can recover HP, you can use a certain battle chip, and your charge shot becomes the Twister battle chip, essentially. Where you hit, I forget if it's the nearest enemy or panel 3 ahead of you, with a tornado that does 10 damage per hit 8 times, which, well, I think that element has the longest charge speed of any of the 4. That's just an absurdly good power to have. I know I kind of ignored the first Mother Computer area here in the background, but a lot of the puzzles here aren't too much to worry about. For now, it's time for cutscenes. Startup door release program. The door should be unlocked now. I can't have you all going in ahead of me. Wait here and be ready. Darn, we don't have time for this. Wait a minute. Where are the opponents? Megaman, leave this to us. Save your power for later. Clunk? They gone? Are you alright? Aren't you worn out from the fight earlier? Don't you worry about me. Besides, that Nabby is tough. Probably can't win if we face him head on. There's only one way to win. It's our only chance. If we die for the cherished Mother Computer, and so be it. Let's go out with a bang. Activate full power mode. Full power mode? No way, you're not. Overloading the powers of suicide bombing. It's been real, old man. Leave everything else to Mega Man. Farewell. Those devils. I feel like we probably could have handled that, but oh well, it's up to us now. And of course, it's only one of like 3 or 4 other maps you have to go through here. All right, let's jack on in for Mother Computer 2. Let's get into it. Oh, hi. Proto Man. Chad and I will get to the bottom of this incident. Oh, hi. Chad. Can't believe it. Going after the Mother Computer? We'll leave this affair to official net battlers. What are you saying? This isn't the time for words like that. Proto Man, we're going. Okay. Lan, let's go too. Sure. Alright, getting back into the styles while we roam about the Mother Computer. To start, you unlock a style change every 280 battles in the game, and that technically counts the first one in a way, but I'll get more into that specific instance in a second. So even at this point, we're building towards the next style change. Which style you get depends on your actions in battle. In particular, the actions you do in battle give action points, and whichever style has the most action points at the end of a battle gets 1 style point. Whichever style has the most style points by the end of that 280th battle is what you're gonna get. If you've done 280 battles by the time you've entered the Mother Computer, you're likely to get one as soon as possible just because you would have already hit the cap. However, that does mean if you do a lot of grinding early in the game for Zenny, chips, and all that, your style will be locked in and you probably won't even know what it is yet depending on what your folder's built like. Multiple styles can get style points in a singular battle if their action points are tied, but if no styles get action points in the battle, they all get 1 style point. By the time you hit a style change, if 2 or more styles are tied, they follow a hierarchy, which goes Shield, Team, Custom, Guts. Which can be kind of annoying. I think I've had at least 1 playthrough where that's messed with me, but oh well. For now, though, next new virus is Kill Plant. Kill Plant's a little annoying in that it spits up a seed. And that seed will become a wood tower right out of the Woodman fight back in Battle Network 1 after a few seconds, but I think you can speed it up yourself by shooting it with water, so be a little careful if you get an Aqua style here. Tree Bomb itself is pretty much the exact same attack as a battleship. You throw a wood bomb that can do 100 damage on contact, yes, but if it lands on the ground, you can attack the entire row with a wood tower by using an Aqua style attack of some sort. So as for the actions that lead into what styles, let's actually start with custom style, the one we got. I got custom style for often sending a lot of chips to Mega Man in one turn. You get 5 points for sending 2, 25 for sending 3 at once, 50 for sending 4 at once, and 60 for sending 5 at once. You get 20 points for forming a program advance that stacks with the prior sets of points, and you get 30 points for using the add function no matter what, doesn't even matter the amount of chips you send with it. The Guts style, which is another favorite of mine, you get a point for using a Buster Shot. In a single battle, you can use 255, and then that'll max out. If the custom gauge is full, 1 shot counts as 5. You get 10 points for using a Charge Shot. That also maxes at 255 shots. If the custom gauge is full, 1 shot still counts as 5, which isn't worth the time at that point. Elemental attacks do not count though, so say being a style change will not count for that. As for Guts Style's abilities, which we'll get into if I get it down the line, its power is doubled from whatever your current Mega Man stat is. So if you have a maxed out power stat in the Mega Man screen at 5, that can do 10 damage with a single Buster Shot. But the rapid is set to 1 permanently. By the way, from this particular battle against the Spiky 2, I believe I get the Heat V battle chip, which is essentially a Fire Elemental V gun. That's got some decent coating. I like it a lot, but I won't use it too much. Oh, hello there. Your friends have arrived. Proto Man. This guy's likely to be the boss. I'll provide assistance. No meddling. This one's mine. Sorry, but this ain't your scene. Either one of you's fine by me. Hurry up and fight. Or I'll take on the both of you. Cat got your tongue? You afraid of me? Darn, keep talking smack. The security door's already been released. Lan, go search the main system. Why do I have to take instructions from you? Just hurry up and go. Lan, leave this battle up to Chad and Proto Man. Okay, I hear you. Proto Man, don't you go dying on me. Lan, jack out, okay? Alright, let's get into it. The final mother computer is actually not just one computer, it is, I believe, 3 separate areas, so we're in here for a long haul. And this is where things get a little more messy in here, depending on which style change you got, honestly. A Navi that just infiltrated spread grass all over. When wood element viruses and Navi stand on grass, they recover HP. Be careful if you fight wood elemental viruses. So, some pros and cons to this. If you got a wood elemental style change, you'll also gain the benefits of wood panels. You'll recover HP just by standing on them, which can be good to grind out some HP if you find yourself in a very safe position. Of course, this also means the viruses will recover HP, and they're usually going to be placed on grass panels if they can be, so be careful of that. But another pro, if you got a heat type style change, your charge shot will do double damage to wood viruses, yes, but they'll also do double damage to any viruses standing on a grass panel. And that means if a grass-type virus is on a grass panel, you'll do 4 times damage, which stacks up super quickly. With that said, because there's also going to be a lot of wood viruses coming up around here, if you got an elect-type style change, which is already kind of a bad sign to begin with for your playthrough, you're not going to be having too much fun around here, because you're going to be taking double damage from a lot of things. To mention this puzzle, though, really quick, this is one of the more complicated ones. You have to make 4 words and connect them first letter to last letter. So you start with wig, because that ends in G. Go to gem, which starts with G, ends in M, then mask, and then all that. Part 1, you cannot escape now. Read the letters on the panels. There's writing here, part 2, fear and danger await. And then all the way down here at the end of this hall, alongside the panel out 3, read the 3rd letter top to bottom. Part 3, beginning to worry, good luck. So the way this particular puzzle works, between the 6 lines of dialogue we just got from parts 1, 2, and 3, find the 3rd letter in each row, and then use those. That comes out to U-C-A-N-G-O. You can go. The puzzles in this area are definitely the most brain-taxing that we've gotten in the game thus far, and I think on the whole it's probably the most brain-taxing from memory they get in this one period, besides maybe one area down the line. Every BN seems to have one area in particular they put a lot more effort into actually taxing the brain of the player with usually riddles and puzzles and questions like this. There's one very early in 5, there's another one like this relatively early in 3. They tend to run a whole gamut of what they like to have in these areas. Sometimes it's timing puzzles, sometimes it's taking a thing from one place to another, sometimes it's finding the right thing, other times it's trivia like this. And as a kid, I didn't like these areas too much, but I've grown to like them a lot, if only because for one thing I'm smarter, so I know the answers, well, of course. But you can brute force your way through them. For one thing, if you get an answer wrong, you're teleported to that red panel on screen, the nearest one to the puzzle in question. But if you just step on a correct panel, save, step on a wrong panel, stop, reset, you're going to be right back on the correct panel, so you can go try one of the next panels perpendicular to it, because you can't go diagonally. By the way, next up we got another new virus. This is a Mushy. Mushy are wood-type viruses, so they'll recover HP on grass inherently, and their attack is to teleport to one of the panels nearby you. It's either in front of you or diagonal to you in front, I believe, and rotate pollen around them, which will damage you outright. I think some later Mushies might be able to inflict status ailments using their pollen, so watch out for that, but Mushy ones don't have to worry about it a lot. Their battle chip is there, and I'm not a big fan of it, but it's needed for 100%, so I'm gonna get one at some point down the line here. So going back to the 4 types of style changes in their abilities, we actually didn't finish off the abilities for Gut Style. One more ability that has is Super Armor, where when you attack and get hit normally, you flinch back and your attack is gone. With Super Armor, that doesn't happen. You'll still take the damage, but any attack you're in the middle of cannot be interrupted. And there's some good benefits to that, particularly with certain program advances or certain battle chips that require you to stand still for a second. I like it a lot, but I do prefer Custom Style on the whole alongside one other style. The next style change in question is Team Style. The way Team Style gains action points is that it's relative to the amount of Navi chips you send to Mega Man in a battle. If you send 1 or 2 Navi chips, they get 50 points towards that style. If you send 3 or more, the math gets a little different. It's 50 action points times the amount of Navi chips you use to minus 2. So if you sent 4 Navi chips, you would get 100 points, for instance. The main benefit of Team Style is that it increases the amount of Navi chips you can have in your folder from 5 to 8, which has some good benefits, particularly with a certain program advance in the game here in BN2. But I don't like it too much. Here's a Puffball. This is the first version of the Goofball enemy we fought earlier, which is generally just weaker, and that's about it. The poison might tick down at a slower rate, but I actually don't think it does now that I've said that. I think it goes down at the same rate. The big thing we want to do here is we want to get this thing's battle chip for some program advances down the line. And there it is. It's pretty easy to get. I think it just puts a mask in front of Mega Man that does the same poison seeping. I'm not the biggest fan of it outside of the program advances that need it. The last of the main style changes here in BN2 is Shield Style, which is ultimately my second favorite, and I wouldn't have been disappointed if I had gotten this one. In order to get action points that lead towards style points for Shield Style, you get 45 points times the number of chips you use of certain types. If you use certain defense type chips, like anything that has a shield in its name, the panel outs, the invis chips, barriers, auras, recovery-based chips, those all give 45 points times that number, so it's very easy to build points for this particular style. But you get an extra 5 points in each battle if you don't get hit, which is easy to do on repeat playthroughs. The benefits of Shield Style. For one thing, you start a battle with an inherent barrier so you can take a free shot no matter what, which is pretty useful for getting high ranks. But also, if you press B and left simultaneously, or at least in a slight rhythm, Mega Man just pulls up a shield like Proto Man does in some of the battles in the series, even back in BN1. And that is honestly pretty good. I like Shield Style a lot. I'm gonna try and make it so that's the next style I get, because Custom and Shield are ultimately my favorites in the game. But you can by and large use any of these to any good effect. If I had to rank them nowadays, I'd say my favorites are Custom, Shield, Guts, Team. But as a kid, it was almost exactly the opposite, because I just wasn't good at using program advances as a kid, because I was just going for the biggest numbers I could see visually, except for Life Sword, because that was just inherently with me no matter what. And that's what happens if you get the questions wrong. Style changes make BN 2 and 3 for me because they're just so good at customizing to the way you play in a way that is super approachable and easy to get into. I always hoped that if we ever get like a proper, not port with an extra scenario type remake of BN1, that they would add style changes or some form of the mechanic from BN6 into it, because that would be great to see. If you're wondering why this Mr. Prog's a big fan of ABBA, the way this particular puzzle works is that the various two programs around here will give you just seemingly a mishmash of letters, but you need to enter them in the order that that particular program told you. So A, B, B, A, B, B, A, B, A, or whatever it was, something like that. I don't get this last puzzle, though. To this day, I still don't understand why it's the solution it is. Blackbird, Coldbird, Waterbird. Do you understand now? No! Find the one that doesn't belong. Everyone else is a bird. I'll tell you a little secret I heard. A Navi called Shadow Man uses an old shadow technique. Shadows have no form, so your attacks will not hit him. What if you get him with a sharp weapon? That's a hint for the boss fight. This is the last security lock. The hidden password is hidden in here. PSECVWANIRNGURUOISNW. So the answer to this puzzle is the word virus. And I only know this because of brute forcing and looking it up when I was a kid. I have never understood why that is the solution to that. If anyone can help me figure that out, I would greatly appreciate that, like in the comments. For now, it's time for the boss fight. You've done very well making it this far. What the? He's supposed to be fighting Proto Man. Huh. So the Shadow Man battling Proto Man's a fake? You're a day late and a zenny short. Lan, I finished an anti-Shadow Man battleship. It's called an Ultimate Blaster. The force of this chip can maybe defeat Shadow Man, but it can only fire once. No time to make it perfect. Sorry, Lan. One shot's all it takes. Believe in Megaman and me. Install the Ultimate Blaster. Megaman, we've only got one chance. I'm with you. Trying that weapon on me? You're aware of what will happen if you miss, right? If we miss, the mother computer will be destroyed. But it's our only hope. However, little boy. Damn, what should we do? Hurry and fire, Mega Man. Proto Man? I can't shoot. Do wish the same fate as Yumland for Watopia. You killed my simulacrum? But not without affliction. Come on, Mega Man. Hurry up, my strength won't last much longer. Even if deleted, I can be repaired with my backup data. Now fire, Mega Man! I'll revive you with the backup data right away. Oh, great. Those underlings acted as a shield. Chad, hurry and let me jack out Proto Man. Proto Man. Close, but yet so far. Darn. What's wrong? Why won't you attack? Then I'll attack. Alright, let's fight. Fair. Alright, Shadow Man can be a very tricky fight on a first playthrough. For one thing, he has an attack that I believe does fire damage, so the grass panels here can lead to that being doubled. Every now and then, he'll spawn 2 shadow clones that mirror his attacks, and that there was the attack in question. That's fire damage. He sends a flame down the road that can destroy the grass. When he does that, his shadow clones will as well, so if you haven't destroyed at least one of them, don't worry, they only have 1 HP, so hitting them with anything will do it. Your entire field's gonna be lit up in flames. Other attack-wise, he can counter your attacks by going up in the air and doing what's known as bodyguard, but he'll throw 3 shuriken at you in a row, so you need to keep moving. But I think his worst attack comes in towards the last 300 or so health, maybe around 250 or less, where he'll just kind of stand in the back row for a second doing nothing. But if you let him stand there for too long, he'll spawn in actual shadow clones that are blue and stay on your side of the field. They will move around randomly to blockade your path, prevent main Shadow Man from getting hit, and occasionally using a sword attack on you, which is very hard to dodge. You can destroy them yourself with a sword-type battle chip. I recommend Wide Sword to get them both in at once. But you should try to prevent that attack by using something that makes him flinch whenever he stands in the back row, whenever possible, because it's rough. I never thought I'd be defeated. Dark. This is mortifying. Tough fight. Megaman, you okay? Fine. I'm worried more about Proto Man. Chad, how's Proto Man? Chad, show me. Proto Man's probably in bad shape. No thanks. I'll take a look at Proto Man. Chad? Megaman, any abnormalities in your main system? No abnormalities. All systems go. You two did a fine job. It wasn't just us who won. Chad and Proto Man helped. And the officials and their navies. We've won because of everyone's help. Oh, yeah, Dad, the officials' navies. Oh, don't worry. I ran the backup data. Thanks, Dad. And Lan, I should be able to come home tonight. We should go out for ice cream. It's been a while. Well, that's for the kiddies. Lan, you're so happy that you're blushing. I am not. Lan, you're growing up, son. Already 11. Well, let's go home. Megaman, jack out. Roger. So, that dark fellow was just a common mercenary after all. Wind and fury signifying nothing. He has failed us. Sir, but I'm surprised those officials have come this far. Sounds as if your report was slightly inaccurate. Sir, your apologies, sir. We had an eye on Chad and Lan. But their rate of growth was far greater than we... Have you forgotten the second rule of gospel? No, sir. Death to those who make lame excuses, sir. But Mr. Edmund, sir. I believe you know there's no escape from gospel. But you might want to start running anyway. Please forgive me. This access has been terminated. Is it my fate to be surrounded by idiots? Has entered the room.
Good evening. I'm sorry I'm late.
How fares our project?
Everything's on schedule.
And the necessary data. Did you get them?
No, but the perfect opportunity will soon present itself.
You seem awfully confident.
I'll be happy to deal with any interference as well.
Now that's what I like to hear.
It's my pleasure.
Make Chad and Lan understand they were fools to defy me. Aw, man. What's wrong? Vacation's just started and it's already half over. Yeah, we've done a whole lot, except for your homework. Oh, come on, Mega Man. No use trying to sweet talk me, Lan. Do your homework. You can at least do my math for me. You're so quick. Praise will get you nowhere. You have to do it yourself, Lan. Bummer. Okay, I'll do it. Let me check the mail first. Whoa! Wow, mail from NetBattler headquarters. Open it up. As we all know from the attacks on Yumland and Electopia, the Net Mafia group Gospel is growing larger and larger. But we have recently obtained important info about Gospel. We want to share this info with NetBattlers and make preparations, so please make efforts to attend our official NetBattler meeting to be held at the World NetBattler HQ in Netopia. I don't know, sounds tough. There's more, hang on. The meeting will be held at NetBattler HQ in Netopia! Hey! And there's even an airplane ticket attached. Wow, a foreign country? Netopia? Let's go. That does sound like fun, but what about your homework? I'll do it when I get home. And thus nothing was done that day. And now we also get some important mail. Custom style info. You get one of these no matter which of the style changes you get, and it serves just as a reminder for what the abilities are in the case you haven't played the game in a while, or you just need to refresh for whatever reason. Good to have. Each of the games does that for its mechanic moving forward, at least 3 times each. What's that? Netopia, all by yourself? Well, I suppose it will be a good learning experience. I think you can get a passport at the official center. Take care, Lan. Well, that's unexpectedly easy permission to go to another country, but oh well! For now, it's time for us to head on over to Marine Harbor to do that, but along the way, we got some emails. I heard from Mom, you're going to Netopia? Way to go, son. You can get a passport from the center. All the data needs in your PET, so just bring that. While you're there, come stop by my lab. Yo, fame's the name and net battling's my game. Judging by recent events, Electopia's net battlers need to buff up, so I'm holding my own net battler power-up fair. I'm extending an open challenge to all net battlers. If you beat me in a decent fight, I'll give you my special chip folder. I'll be waiting in the Marine Harbor Center. So now we can actively go challenge Mr. Famous for his Gateman V2, not only to get Gateman's chip potentially out of the deal, but also for a pretty good other reward. First off, though, we want to head over to Dad's lab, because there's a couple things I need to take care of over here that I forgot about. You've been able to do this one, I think, since late last part. We can come over here and jack into the monitor's conference control panel, and get a couple of things in here, one of which could be useful depending on if you've grabbed certain battle chips. This one right here is Aqua plus 40. That is an attack plus chip that will only work on Aqua elemental chips, but it boosts their damage by 40, and that works well with certain Navi chips. In some cases, some of the best ways to get damage on Navi chips is to have a Navi chip that does multiple hits, give it an Aqua plus 40 in the case it's an Aqua type, and then give it a Navi plus 20s. But here we also have another new virus. This is Shrimpy 2s. Shrimpy 2s actively home in on your row instead of just patrolling up and down. On top of that, their bubbler attacks now hit in a V behind you instead of the panel you're on and the one behind you. Which is a pretty good hint for their battleship, which we're going to be getting in about a minute. Because I roam around a little bit here trying to get 2 particular battleships, because I might as well while I'm here. Because the other one is another new enemy that can be annoying if you let them live long enough. I think we find them in the next battle. Yes, we do. This is the Octon. Octons from memory do not move. They stay on their starting panel and load up a mine that has its own damage. And it shows its damage on screen. However, you can blow it up at any point you want to do some damage, and it explodes in a 3x3 grid. So if you can place an Octon just right, you can delete itself and the viruses it's with in one move, and that's the best way to get its battle chip, which I think is the exact same Aqua Ball attack. It's a bomb that moves forward and gets stronger, and if it gets destroyed, it does damage. Not my favorite. It's a little too setup-y for memory, and I don't think it's involved in any program advances. It's one I tend to grab just for library more than anything. Same with Bubble V, for the most part. Not a good coding for my taste, at least at this early in the game. There is going to be a point where L, M, and N codes can come in pretty good handy for memory, but not for now. Welcome to the center. How can we help you? I want a passport, but first, you're pretty. Thanks, but you're a bit short to date. I don't know why I've always found that funny. A passport, go to the counter on the right. Alright, but first, it's time for me to grab some chip trader stuff, see if I get anything good. And of course, because it's the base chip trader, I really don't. You want a passport? Alright, just connect your PET to that computer. There, it's done. Lan got passport. The passport is stored in your PET as data. If you lose it, you can't come back, so hold on to it. Well, that's terrifying, but oh well. Alright, time for Mr. Famous himself. I'm gonna do a safety save first, just in case. You net battlers keeping at it? Got to do it every day. Lan, do you want to challenge Mr. Famous to a battle? Yes, we do. This time I'm not holding back as much. Watch out. Gateman V2 is where Gateman really starts to be a pain, because if you let that shield that spawns in come around, it is rough to dodge, the speed's pretty high, and the damage gets even higher. With that said, since we now at least have the benefit of custom style, getting high ranks or program advances out is going to be a little quicker, assuming the luck is in our favor, which is a big thing. Admittedly, if you're just trying to get through a folder, that is where having a regular chip can actively be a bad thing, because then you are guaranteed only, in this case, like 6 chips instead of 7 off the top that are random. But the inverse is also true, where that means you're guaranteed a part of a program advance if you will have one you really rely on. Like Gut Shoot, like a certain one that might involve Gateman himself. It all kind of flows together in a way that's like, it can go either direction depending on your luck. There is going to be ways down the line, though, to at least make getting through your folder a little quicker as well, but that's not going to be until a little later in the game. Alright, that looks good. Let's just use Wide Sword on him. Wide Sword? No, Life Sword. And at this point, I'm still keeping Guard as my regular chip. For one thing, because it's always effective to have around, and with the amount of G-code stuff I have, getting Gut Shoot's pretty easy. But it's particularly because the next style I want to get is a shield style. Not because I'm going to need it, it's just because I really like it. And we got Gateman G. I like this chip a lot. Not bad, that was pretty real. You might be able to use the folder. Try this. We got Famous's folder. I'll mail the folder directions, read them well. Alright, so this is our first secondary folder in the game. I'll show you how to use the folder on the chip folder screen. The folder name with the E mark is the E-equipped folder. To equip a different folder, move the cursor to it and click A button. You can then use it for the next battle, but it isn't good to split your attacks between 2 folders. You should always have one main folder and one for special occurrences. I have one for viruses and one for correspondence play. So while from memory every version of BN1 only has 1 folder you can use, you can get up to 3 folders for you to use here in BN2. And Famous's folder comes with a good couple of good chips in it. The Rock Cube one isn't too good, but it's got an extra Navi Plus 20. It's got the entire high cannon line to do a program advance. And the Bronze Fist chips aren't to be underestimated in their strength, even though I don't personally use them a lot. I tend to just kind of cannibalize Famous's folder, and we'll take a good look at what my folder's looking like again in a few moments. But hey, that also adds a few free chips to your library. A note from Dad. Sorry I'm not here. Use this battle chip. It'll do you good. And here we get Silver Fist. Which is why I stuttered for a second there about the Bronze Fist, because the Silver Fist is gotten right there. There's a couple of others of those in the game, but that's the one I tend to get for the most part. Before we go to the airport, though, there's a new request we can do for Male Pride. I'm gonna net battle a guy. The problem is I may lose. Can someone help me out here? I'm waiting at the entrance to the square. Please save my Male Pride from embarrassment. Help me! You do need a particular battle chip to do this, but it's a pretty quick one to grab at this point anyway if you don't have it. We now need to head to the same area we first met Roll and Gutsman over here at the square. I'm the one who posted the request on the board. You see, my next net battle will be against my rival. I'm asking you to help me out so that I will win. First of all, I want you to spy on my rival. If I know his weak points, it'll be easy for me to win. He's training in the cyber world, but not on the net. I heard he found a quiet place to relax and train. He trains very hard, so you'll know him when you see him. So from those hints, you need to kind of figure out where he is. And I'll just tell you, he's over in Okaden Valley. So we need to do another Okaden Valley backtrack session. But we need to anyway to get something else very important here at the campsite. If we talk to the lady that gave us the note data last time, did you give him note data? Thank you. Here's your reward. We get the first of the many gate keys in the game which act as quick travel points that we'll be unlocking as we get throughout the rest of the game. As for the person we need for this request they're over here in the Guardian computer. This is the time I think you're technically supposed to figure out you can jack into this thing, but I always do it earlier on because of the HP memory. So, And then the person we're looking for is going to be our left. Whew, what hard training. What do you want? I'm wrapping up my training. Leave me alone. I'm a fan. You have an eye for quality people. How can I help you? I heard you're going to do a net battle. What's your plan? I don't have a plan, but I'll move a lot and confuse them. I'll triumph with my superior speed. What else? My weak spot. I can't tell you that, no way! Are you spying on me for my opponent? But wait, he can't be that smart. I'll just say I don't have any weak spots for now. Well, we tried. So now we need to head back to the client in question, and this is where you're gonna need a particular battle chip. In particular, you're gonna need Satellite 1G from any of the Sparkies you can find in the mother computer. So if you don't have one of those, just go grind it out. Doesn't take too long, and it's not immediately worth it, but if you're trying to do certain things in the folder, it might be worth doing now. Did you figure out his weak point? He doesn't have one. I'll focus on using a speed attack to bewilder me, huh? I'll use a chip with a high accuracy rate to ensure damage. So can you give me a Satellite 1G? How about it? Sure. So you'll give me a Satellite 1G? All right. Now I can beat him. Thank you. This is all I'll need. This is a gift. Please, take it. And all that for a reg up too. Nice and easy request. I like it. And now we're good to go to the airport, more or less. To get there, you just need to head to any of the metro lines and select the airplane option. But first, surprise ninja girl. Yes, I've found it. You can have it. We get the Geddon 3Y chip. Geddon as a chip is a weird line. Geddon 3 turns all the panels into Poison Swamp, which is I'm gonna be honest, much more tuned to multiplayer than anything. I think it's a part of a program advance, but that's about it. And now, one more thing before we go. I want to come over here to Yai's telephone and grab a battle chip. We saw that those Windbox viruses were here several parts ago. Because I now have the Gateman chip, I want to grind out for the Windbox chip. Gateman's chip, by the way, because I haven't mentioned it yet, when you use it, Gateman spawns where you are, and then drops 3 of those soldier enemies that he uses as an attack, and they will then glide into the nearby opponents. They do home in on the nearest one, I believe, and they do about 30-40 damage each. I forget exactly how much. I tend to use Gateman more for a program advance than for actual, like, Navi usage, whereas Wind just pushes enemies to the end of the line. Having multiple folders is quite the boon for the series on the whole, because it really does allow you to have like a folder for viruses, a folder for bosses, and then one for multiplayer. I tend to just stick with one, but it's nice to have 2. And while we're here, I also might as well use Cannon A, B, C, D, and E in sequence to use Omega Cannon as a program advance and get it out of my folder. Omega Cannon is Zeta Cannon, it just lasts twice as long, 10 seconds instead of 5. Cool, you're invincible during it. It has uses more so in Battle Network 3 than Battle Network 2, though. And here's what my folder is currently looking like with the changes we've done now that I got those cannons out of there. Still a lot of focus on the G code. We have roll and some R codes in there just to fill some stuff out for Navis, though. Once I get further Gutsman or Gateman ships, that's gonna change, though. G ends up usually being one of my favorite codes in the game, up there with B and some others. Welcome to the airport, though, and something I didn't notice for quite some time. The main theme of the game's motif is actively in the latter portion of this song, and it's really cool sounding. Welcome to Den Airport, Electopia's aerial front door. You going abroad alone worries me, so I'm seeing you off. Take these with you, Lamb. And we get Roll V2 for free. And wireless. The chip I know, but what is this? What do I do with it? Don't talk like that. Your horoscope says this is your lucky item, Lan. Thank you. You're so stupid. Just be careful. All right, and we clearly saw for a moment there, but another friend of ours is nearby. Chad's just hanging out over here. After I talk to everyone else, despite the fact I don't tend to read all the dialogue in this game. Seems that you've been called to the conference too. Just don't step on my toes, you hear? Alright, as long as you don't step on mine. And now we can jack on into this particular computer, which I think is the billboard computer. I don't remember the name of it. It's not too important. There's not many enemies here I can think of, but there is a bug frag, which is always good to get. Again, bug frags became more of a random drop from enemies if you did certain things in 3 Beyond. In 2, they are in set locations and there's a limited amount. And just as an example of what's here, we got some tough bunnies, which I haven't gotten the battle chip from yet, so hey. Zap ring 2, nice to get. Gonna need it for something eventually, I think. It's just a stronger paralyzing attack. Doesn't do enough damage for me to be really worth it, but the paralysis effect of it can be useful. Do not bring dangerous objects on board the aircraft. You must pass security before entering the gate. Alright. This is where they check for dangerous stuff. Sorry, kid, could you go through the gate once more? Sure. Lan, you're not carrying anything odd, are you? No, nothing. Huh? Sorry, kid, I gotta check. A PET? You can't bring this! We have to watch out for Net Mafia these days, you know? Sorry, you'll get your PET back when you land, okay? But Mega Man's my friend, you can't take him away! Don't worry, I'll give you a mini PET for the flight, okay? Now, if you'll just let me have your PET there... Wait, no! Lan, help! Help! Lan lost PET. Lan got mini PET in exchange! There you go. Thanks, kid. Could you take this? No problem, sir. I'll hold on to it. Wait, no! Hey, you can't just take him! Lan! The horror. We got mail. I decided I want a souvenir. Please buy me one. Not the time, Yai. Not the time. But we're not done with the airport yet. Now we need to get through immigration check. Show me your passport. Sure. Lan Hikari. Really? Where are you going? Natopia. Mm-hmm. Okay. Have a nice trip. Well, that was easy. Hey, Mega Man, which way's our gate? Oh, right. Mega Man's not here. Man. Excusez-moi, ça boy, out of my way. Ouch, what? Oh, I'm begging your forgiveness. Mon ami, you have dropped at something. Voila, I mean, here you are, I give it to you. Oh, my mini PET. Thanks, mister. Oh, it is my pleasure to help such a nice, polite little boy. It was the least I could do. Now I bid you adieu. Man, that guy talked weird. Does everyone in Utopia like him? Whew. Well, all this checking in has made me thirsty. Guess I'll get hey, all my Zenny are gone! Hey, that weirdo took my Zenny! Ah! This is just not our day. Don't you look down the dumps. Chad, now's not the time. Go away, man. You need more power if you're gonna get through. Here, I got it with my official authority. You're helpless without it, right? Oh, thank God. Lan, I've missed you. What's wrong? Are you feeling all right? You've been robbed? And you didn't see where he went. Oh, well, come on, let's board the plane. We can earn more money. I mean, yeah, with the economy being weirdly based around things that random viruses can drop, it's not too bad. Who called quiz? Who called quiz? It's quiz time. Come and do it. Cha-cha-cha. They call me quiz. Answer 5 questions correctly and you win a terrific prize. Will you take the challenge? Yes. Like in BN1, as well as with later games, there are quiz NPCs located throughout the game that the more you do, you get better and better rewards. They're usually based in just obscure knowledge in the game. Question number 1, what animal does this AC/DC Town Park slide look like? It's an elephant. Correct. Here's the next question. Question number 2, what distinguishes the Marine Station kiosk? That would be the selection. Correct, here's the next question. Question number 3. How many tents are in Okuden Valley Campground? There are exactly 3 actual tents laid around about in the area. Question number 4. Where did the Marine Harbor Cafe waitress work before? That was a restaurant, in particular the one from BN1 that I think is from the Electman scenario? Correct, and now the last question, question number 5. Choose cannons in A, B, and C order. What do you get? That would be a Zeta cannon. Absolutely correct. Congratulations. And here's your prize for getting all the answers. Wow, hooray! And for doing that, we get a free Cannon Asterisk, which is good for some program advances, but I don't tend to use it. Have yourself a nice flight. Land, it's Netopia at last. Well, you say at last, but 1 10-hour flight later, ugh, God, I hate flying. We arrived in Netopia. Phew, that was one long flight. No kidding. Hey, we're in Netopia. Let's hit the town. Problem with hitting the town, we don't have any money, Mega Man. Oh dear. Lan can only speak Electopian. Lan, start the translation program? Yes. Hello, dude, show me your passport. Sure. Purpose of entry, meeting. You're cool, dude. Sweet look, man. So the procedure's over, right? Great. All right, we're free to now explore Netopia. Hey, wait a minute, I recognize you. That kid's loaded. Electopians are rich, I just knew it. What? What? Oh, you again. You want something? My money. Darn, you got me. Foul play. And he throws a fishy, a flamey, and a fishy 3 at us. We've seen 2 of these viruses before, but not the fishy 3. Fishy 3s can be dangerous, as while they still just patrol their column until they run into your row, they are very fast and they do some pretty good damage. Thankfully, since the flamey just stays there, you don't need to worry about it too much. I would recommend taking care of the 2 fishies before even remotely entering the row with the flamey on it, just to avoid having an entire row out on top and then having to deal with 2 fishies homing in on you on both of the other rows at once. This is an optional fight. You can just ignore this guy and never get your Zenny back. But for obvious reasons, I don't want to do that because that's 15,000 Zenny I earned through sheer willpower, and I'm gonna need it to buy some battle chips in the upcoming areas anyway because there's some really good ones for stuff I want to do. So now I just need to wait for the panels to be restored. This is why I don't like the flamey enemy line. And hey, we even took his money. I understand, I'll give back your money. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And you were dedicated. Flew all the way over there, 10-hour flight, just to get some money and take a 10-hour flight back. But Rabita's here as well, and we can actually challenge her. World journalist, but who wants to speak Netopian? We can now challenge her for Toadman V2. It's showtime, action. For being a V2, Toadman is still pretty squishy, only about 600 health from memory. So if you can get some good program advances out nice and early, this can be pretty quick, but something you need to worry about. While Toadman himself is water elemental, so if you got an elect style, that can be kind of useful here, his note attack is elect elemental. So if you're in aqua style change like we are, you're gonna be taking double damage from that. I don't think the paralysis from it's doubled, but be careful all the same. If anything, you want to try and bait him into doing the palm slap attack as much as possible to make this fight go by a little more quickly and safely. Toadman is kind of annoying, but less so for the actual damage and all that, but more so just because it's a bit of a Sharkman and BN1 scenario where keeping him in one place and hitting him can be the problem more so than the actual damage he does or the damage you need to deal. Or you could just get another Life Sword. Again, Life Sword's a pretty good program advance. L-Code doesn't belong in my folder for too much longer, but there's going to be stronger variants of this down the line that use better codes that I would like to use more anyway, so For right now, it can stay in there for the quick 400 damage it needs to be here and there. And now we get the Toadman chip, which is the note attack. It is notably an elect elemental chip. This might make a special report. Alright, let's head into the area. Well, Netopia's right there. Wonder what the town's like. How do we get into town anyway? Megaman? Should be a bus around here somewhere. Okay, let's find that bus then. Hiya, guy, how you going? Huh? What? Where are you heading to? Into town? That's where I'm going too. Must be your lucky day, want a lift. Well, I was just gonna take the bus. The bus? No way. Ride with me and you ride for free, kiddo. Mega Man, what do you think? This seems a little odd. Maybe, but maybe he's just a nice person? No worries, little buddy. Leave the driving to me. All right, let's make tracks. Sure. One passenger to the city. Ooh, gorgeous looking castle. And complete with any castle, we got a nice little park out front too. Neat. Wow, so this is Netopia. It's so different from home. Hey man, we're here. Thanks, mister. Later. Huh? The door won't open. Is it broken? Mister. Land, careful, this guy doesn't look so nice after all. Hey kiddo, you wanna live, you'll give me all your chips. In your pack. What? No way, buddy. Yes way, Electopia chips fetch a good price here, see? I don't care, I'm not giving you my chips. You tell him, Land, don't back down now. Heh, you got spunk, kiddo, but I gotta have those chips. Gimme! No way, buzz off! Ah! Stupid kid, you couldn't beat me if you tried. Thanks for the chips from your pack. See ya! Hey, you give me my chips back. He left. Lan, let's get to the hotel and think of a plan. So yeah, if you didn't get your money back, you're out of your money and any chip that wasn't actively in your folder. This scenario is rough on Lan. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. I'm gonna try to get the next part out sooner than 6 months from now. I'm not gonna promise that, but it's gonna be pretty likely because I already have footage recorded for the next part. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for, I think this was supposed to be the 320 subscriber special, and we're just catching up. And I'll see you guys next time where we explore Netopia now that we're stranded here, essentially, in a way. See you guys then.